Okay. I just watched the movie Nope. So I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. If you haven't watched the movie, don't watch this video. So check this out. Alright. So yeah, don't watch this video if you haven't watched the movie Nope. Overall, my thoughts on the movie, I don't get the hate. This movie's actually really good. Seriously. I don't think I have watched a Jordan's Peele movie. I tried to, but just never watched them, you know? Maybe I have one. Maybe I did see one, but I probably don't know. Yeah, I haven't watched Us or anything like that, so this is probably my first Jordan Peele movie. And yeah, I liked it. Obviously, if I talk about it in a spiritual enlightenment way, I probably will be here all day, but I'm not going to. I'll say that the movie is really good. It's well acted. The cinematography is good, and it keeps you guessing what's going on with the whole movie, in my opinion. And the actress that's the main character's sister, basically, I always had a crush on her ever since I was a kid. Shit, I still have a crush on her. So when I heard she was in this movie, I was all like, I'm definitely watching this movie. you know. So the first time I saw a movie of her was actually that Spelling Bee movie. You probably have watched it if you went to school and they showed you that in school. It was actually a pretty good movie, to be quite honest with you. Surprisingly, a Spelling Bee movie is actually good. Huh. And you got into it really well. Was that a Disney movie? I don't think it was. No, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. But moving on. I like, so there are some spoilers in this video. Good thing I said that now before. I probably already said it, but I want to remind myself again, and I want to remind you guys too before I get into it, because I will get into it deeply right now. In three, if you haven't watched the movie, get out now. In 3, 2, 1. So this movie basically starts where the main character's dad, he's dead. He gets a coin in his eye, a fucking nickel. He gets on one of the president's fucking eye, a nickel and shit like that. Who's on the nickel again? I don't know. Who cares about these orcs? But and I love the poster for this movie. To be quite honest, it is. Some people say it's a pale horse, but I think it's a black horse being summoned, being what is it? Being raptured to a spacecraft that's hiding from the clouds. And if you guys watch my spiritual stuff and all that stuff, you guys know that I see that shit every day. I see that shit every fucking day. When I had to rebuild all my shit today, if you haven't watched my latest YouTube video on my the TheSkullKlown or my Oak channel, go watch it. If you watch my enlightenment stuff, if you don't have to. All right. But in that video, literally, I didn't point out in that video, but literally what happened to me today was that I was building, making towers and shit like that, and then you see the fucking goddamn clouds, what we call clouds, blocking the sun. Right? Anyone that's in tune and spiritual with itself would know that's not supposed to happen. Right? When I'm meditating and the sun is pointing at me and I'm meditating and the cloud covers it, what the fuck does that tell you? What the fuck does that tell you? That's not a cloud. That's a fucking goddamn spaceship. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This shit's real. Right? Oh, this is the spiritual and stuff. No, it's not. I'm just telling you my fucking goddamn experience and telling you that this shit's real. You won't believe no color person, but you will watch Ancient Aliens and shit like that and believe in that shit. I don't get people, man. People are so fucking stupid. When you tell stories like this, they won't believe you, but yet they still believe in extraterrestrials. But if they don't believe in that, they believe a white man in the sky. A white man in the sky! What do you want me to tell you? And obviously the main character, OJ. Nice reference to the story of OJ from Jay-Z, the music video. I see what they did there. But OJ, has to sell. Basically, he's sell his house, sell his land, basically. Mainly because his dad's dead, and what they're doing to make money it's not really working out for him, mainly because, well, he's not his dad. And he's definitely not his sister. His sister is more the energetic type of person. He's not. He doesn't like to get in front of the camera and all that, which is fine. You have different people for different things, you know? And she was great. In the beginning of the movie, when she introduces herself and everything like that, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. You know, I could probably look for her name right here. I'm literally on my laptop recording and shit like that. So I probably can look this up right now. So let's hold on guys. I actually sometimes like to look at my face here because when I'm doing this shit here, can I make this small? It doesn't matter. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I got it. It doesn't matter. I'll just go here. You guys can see my face anyways. So this will be future videos might be like this. So as long I don't have to go to YouTube, I just put this here. So this movie was really good. There was a lot of blood. It is horror. It is horror. And again, I don't get the hate. Like the Rotten Tomatoes. Look, I talk shit about sometimes about Rotten Tomatoes, but the 83%, not bad. And IMDb 7.1 out of 10. Again, not bad. But some people are going to be like, oh, they got paid and shit like that. Look, there's certain things around here, around this world, that you guys will never fucking find out. Maybe in the next life. Who knows? But, you know. Keke Palmer. There we go. Keke Palmer, man. Yo, I always forget about her name sometimes. But Keke Palmer is a shit in this movie. Hell yeah, man. Alright? And Danielle was great too. The main actor that plays OJ and shit like that, he's great too in this movie. These actors did really good in this movie. You know, you also got some character. You also got a character that, you know, they also go to this guy that needs they need cameras and shit like that to put, because they start seeing shit. The main character starts seeing UFOs and shit like that. And one of the white horses disappears and you don't see the white horse again at all. And then later on, before that, he does sell one of his horses. It's a dark horse, black horse, and he sells that to a Asian dude. And that Asian dude used to be on a TV show that had a chimpanzee going fucking ape shit. And it wasn't the original chimpanzee, they just changed him over time and shit like that. So it wasn't the original chimp that was famous and shit like that. Which, to be quite honest, guys, I know it happens in real life and shit like that, of like changing monkeys and all that, or changing animals and shit like that. But isn't that kind of fucked up when you really think about it? It's like you're watching Dumbo, you know, the real life Dumbo, because the real life Dumbo was real, to be quite honest. It was called Jumbo. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, fuck it. You know? I don't know. That's just me, man. That's just me sometimes. But going back, you do have people that walk with the Asian dude dress up as literally Greys at one point, and you're like, holy shit, you know, like, oh my god. And they look really good costumes, to be quite honest. If they were, the thing is, if they had extraterrestrials that were Greys, that's the thing. I was kind of pissed off when I kind of saw the trailer a bit, mainly because I'm like, is this just going to talk about gray aliens? Because I'm tired of this talking about gray alien shit. You don't want to talk about the reptilians. You don't want to talk about the Anunnaki. You don't want to talk about the fucking insectoids, even though there's a reference of an insectoid when the camera was on there. I see what were you doing. I saw exactly what you were doing, movie. I saw exactly what you were doing. Right? And they don't talk about these other extraterrestrials, but they want to keep talking about the gray alien. Or the, you know, gray, the big eyes and fucking green skin and shit like that. At that point, I'm going to be like, Osiris? The only person that can be green like that is a carbon person, a so-called black and Hispanic person. Sorry. That's scientifically. Alright? I'm giving you some of the science that's in this cosmos and what's part of us. Right? Just because it's not in my enlightenment video, just because I'm not talking about enlightenment stuff, does not mean I'm not going to mention some facts here of truth shit. Some people might not know about it, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving you my opinion and what I saw from this movie. This movie is really, again, going back, this movie is really good. I can't play this movie enough. I will get this movie on DVD. I will. I wish I did saw it on the big screen, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I saw it, and I enjoyed it. I really did. And eventually you get this guy that has a, you did saw him in the beginning of the movie. He was the camera guy, the director that they were hoping making like a skit, basically for like I think one of the openings something. I don't think the movie really specifies of it. Maybe it does, and I just don't remember. And that's fine. But that character does come back later, and he brings like an old techno camera. I remember seeing that camera, and I was like, oh shit! And literally, yo, Kiki Palmer, man, she literally, her character was like, I knew he was going to bring that old camera. Let's go, yo! That shit was like, yeah, they put that shit a lot in the trailer, but that shit was awesome. That shit was really good. All right, and then the whole thing when they try to capture the footage or capture a tape or even a picture of the fucking goddamn thing that they're trying to catch is really great. I love the whole thing of them trying to catch it. And it's kind of funny that how it kind of died. You put a hot air balloon, it ate a hot air balloon and then it died. Huh. The thing is, it's not, you find out more in the movie once it starts eating people that it's not aliens inside an extraterrestrial ship. The ship is the extraterrestrial. Meaning it's basically kind of disguising himself as a spaceship, but it's actually something else eating shit. Like, think of it as the Blob or the Thing. It's like that. It really is. It's like that. I can see what the people that make this movie, Jordan Peele's, I can see what they got some references from. But in real life, if you want to talk about it in a spiritual enlightenment way, just for real quick, there are some UFO ships that could transform into anything. Not all of them can do that, no, but some can. And those are and the ones that can do that are the ones that are high above of consciousness, basically. The reason they made it wicked and evil in this movie is because, well, you wouldn't have a movie, you wouldn't be entertained, right? So it's all about breaking it down, basically. It's like that. So, but overall, this movie, my friend did tell me that, it went, not the pacing, what was it? My friend did tell me that, that goes to one place and then another real quick. And I do see what he's talking about, because this movie does go previous and then to the 90s, because they're trying to give you a backstory of the Asian dude's character as when he was a kid with the chimp and shit like that. You hear that stuff and you be like, okay, does that anything have to do with the plot more? To be quite honest with you, the Asian, like, we don't even see the Asian dude get killed by the fucking spaceship. We don't even, like, we saw him looking up, and then all the people started grabbing him, and we do know you're not supposed to look at it, so maybe he did get captured. Or maybe he just fucking flee. Remember, in horror movies, if they didn't show the body, or they didn't show the person dying, they are still alive. Horror movie code 101, my brothers and sisters. Anyone that loves horror movies will know that. Alright? Seriously. It's true. I'm a horror fan. I have horror in my blood. Cosmic horror, baby. Literally, I have cosmic horror in my blood. And you know what? That shit, it's true. It is. If you're not killed on the screen, you're not killed. You're still alive. It's considered you're still alive. Even if the film didn't say anything or all that, you could have interpreted that maybe he did die with them, but they didn't show it. That's what I love about filmmaking. That's what I love about horror in general, man. I do. That's what I love about horror in general. Like, for crying out loud, people would believe that, oh yeah, he did die, but if that happened to a Freddy Krueger or Jason, you would have been like, nah, man, he's still alive. Right? Of course you would. Of course you would. I mean, I'm not saying you're stupid for thinking that, no. Because it's true. I would think of that too, to be quite honest with you, no lie. So, I just love the design of this movie. I really do. Let me look back at some of this shit, because I want to look at some photos here of just like, because I'm intrigued with this movie. I still love it. Well, of course I love it. I already told you I like it. And yeah, Kiki can get it, to be quite honest. She's fucking hot. She is. Again, always had a crush on her. But so I thought, I'll say this, one of the guys that helps with the camera and stuff like that, I thought he was going to die helping with the equipment with the camera, not the director that helped him to film, to see the UFOs and all that, not that guy, but the other guy that was trying to help him with all the techie stuff. I was kind of pissed off at him, not the actor, just what he was doing with the character. I mean, he was doing fine with the character. That's the thing. When a character can piss me off in a movie or get me frustrated, you're doing a good job. keep doing what you're doing, to be quite honest with you. No, seriously, keep doing what you're doing. Why? Because I look at the character, I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. If you've been doing this for 20 years and you act like this, oh my god, you would have been dead a long time ago. But he isn't. So, he really isn't. And there's just a really, really good stuff around here, you know? Really good stuff. And there's probably a lot of, theories with this movie already, you know? There's probably, I'm just looking at these pictures right now, and there's probably a lot of theories just talking about Nope. You know? Even with the shoe, think about it. There's a part in the movie where it shows the shoe and it has blood in it, and that Asian dude kept it as a trophy. Like, there's so many things in this movie that doesn't tell you anything, and I love it. To be quite honest, I do. I love it. That's the thing about horror movies. They forget to tell you that. Fucking horror movies, and especially movies nowadays, don't fucking tell shit. Show and don't tell. That's all I need. That's all I need. Literally, that's all I need in my movies, man. Show, don't tell. Alright? I can't. You know how many times I made scripts? Like, just scripts for fun, and they barely have dialogue in it. It's just action upon people doing shit. A script that I made called Space Wizard literally has barely any dialogue in it. It has dialogue. It has a lot of dialogue. But it has a lot of stuff that has no dialogue in it. It's just people, talking. It just has people enjoying the moment, enjoying the atmosphere, like the characters and shit. And for the people that's reading it too, you'd be like, holy shit. Like, I'm actually feeling what's happening here, because you're reading what's happening with the characters. While obviously with a book you have to write it down, but when you put it in your head, it's like, oh, I get what the writer's doing here. They're showing and not telling, basically. But obviously you have to kind of tell. In a book it's different, narrative and all that. Obviously movie and book are different, but still, you can still get away with that in a book, basically. When you're talking in a book with the characters, that's different between you telling the action and what's happening to the characters, right? I remember showing the script to some teachers, because we were doing what is it? In class, we were doing apocalyptic stuff, and my story was around apocalyptic stuff. And when I showed one of the teachers that, the teacher loved it, and she was like, there was a character I made that she thought was worse than Voldemort. Literally. I made a character that's worse than Voldemort, at least in her eyes. And you know what? To me, that's an accomplishment. That is. When you can make a villain like that, man, obviously you might have to think to yourself, maybe you're like that. Maybe you're sick and disgusting. You just grab inspiration from, like, real life shit and what you hear from these people from, like, over the years and stuff like that. Especially when it comes to extraterrestrials and all that stuff. But, I had to mention it here because the story that I'm making, or I'm almost finishing, I just never went back to it. Mainly because I'm doing other stuff. But it is about extraterrestrials in a way, but it's different in a way too. I mean, technically, think of it as Tron and Star Wars, and Ready Player One, I guess, without the whole simulation type thing. How do I? One of the Apple guys has like a fucking tech shit of making tech, and these people want to fucking take over and shit like that. Basically, it's kind of like that, but it's more to it than that. There's actually beings that want to fucking take over the technology and shit like that, which is like real life. So, moving on. The reason I mention that is because it's kind of part of the extraterrestrial stuff with this movie, and it's almost like my script and everything like that. Not exactly like my script, but like extraterrestrial stuff with my script and all that. I just saw like connections and shit. But there's just so many things in this movie that I don't think a lot of people are going to get. Right? But a lot of people do like this movie, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when people saw this movie, maybe they're all going to look up in the sky from time to time and be like, that is not a cloud. And at least you're doing something right at that point. Because some people will watch this movie and be like, it's for entertainment. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know. That's something for a spiritual enlightenment thing, to be quite honest. and I might forget about it if I do a video about it. So, but the set design, I don't know where. I think it's in California, right? They made this movie. This movie, the set design that they have in this movie, and even if it, okay, I'll say this right now: if the house wasn't a set, you know how hard that is to come by these days. To have a house that's not a set, and you can actually film there, and you leave, and it still be there. Seriously, you know. It's almost like when people, it's like almost like the Goonies. People visit the Goonies house and stuff like that, and the people that live in the Goonies house now, they're like, stop going to our house and shit like that. Stop taking pictures of it. Well, motherfucker, you in the Goonies house. You own it. No shit, people are gonna visit and take tours of it and shit like that. At that point, make money out of it, you dumb idiot. Ching. Like, think. Think. You want to complain about it, but there's a great opportunity for you to make some money. Some extra shit. But you know, you just want to complain about it. That's fucking, man. People, man. People. Sometimes it's, I'm going to say it. Fucking orcs, man. But, I like that the UFO does transform, to be quite honest. You at first it's like this hover disc and shit like that you kind of see in freaking Godzilla movies. Like, have you seen Godzilla 2000? The spaceship almost looks like that, basically. And then when it transforms, it's like this huge. It's like a fucking. It's like it looks like trying to be Mothra and shit like that. That's just me. Um, I do look like it look. I do like the fact that it looks like a parachute and everything like that. It's like an 8 of the parachute, so it's going to become the parachute or some shit like that. I don't know. I just thought of something like that. You know, I'm like, well, it did 8 people. I'm wondering why it's not turning into a person. But yeah, it ate a flag in a way when the main character OJ was like running with the horse and let the little um um let off the little what is it parachute that's colorful and shit like that, and the thing ate it and shit. um that's what I thought of. That's why I was like, well, he ate that, so he's just gonna, you know. And one part too in the movie too, I know I'm going everywhere, but you know, it happens. One part in the movie too is when the UFO is literally hovering over the house, and it's throwing all of the fucking shit that people fucking got captured with, like their coins and shit like that, and their purses, their shoes, their clothes, you know, and then blood just rains down all over the fucking house and shit like that. That shit was awesome. All over the fucking windows and shit. I was like, awesome. You know, that shit was great. That shit was fucking amazing. Seriously, man. It was amazing. Uh, Even my friend was watching this shit. When he was watching this shit, he was like, huh, at least happened to these white people. I'm like, yo, nothing against you Caucasians and shit like that, but you guys do have a history of fucking color people over. Alright? Seriously. It's funny, though. It's funny. This is not a race thing. I just want to point this out. It's funny. When it happens to when it happens to color people in horror movies, you know, it's always the person that says, nope, nope. And you have the main character, OJ, saying, nope, nope, nope. And I'm like, thank you, that's us. And some idiot is going to look at the screen and be like, do something. No. Have you ever hanged out with a Hispanic or so-called Hispanic and so-called black person? They literally be like, no, I'm not going in there, dude. I'm not stupid. We know that there's things in this planet that you just don't touch. There's just things you don't investigate. Because in this planet, you have no idea what's in this planet. Some things, some creatures and some beings are in this planet just to live and just to be what they are. You're not supposed to touch them or fucking go near them at all. And if you do, oh, you get a rude awakening. Now, some of them might not even touch you because they know who you are. But they will go after the Caucasians. Why? Because they know that they're not supposed to be here. Sorry. There's just certain creatures that are like that. Alright? And some animals know that too. Seriously. Right? But I understand and understand when it comes to like spirituality too, because if you're low vibration and you going to a fucking safari desert, most likely you're not gonna, I mean, maybe if you're into, I don't know, you have to do something, to be quite honest with you. Because in ancient times, we did live in a fucking goddamn jungle, to be quite honest with you. We had houses and shit, but, you know, that's just another video for another day. I don't want you guys to be like, well, he keeps talking about this, but hey, it just goes in line with the movie that I'm talking about, man. It is. This movie just got me rolling, just got the ball going. And hey, sometimes if I talk about some spiritual shit in here, man, that's just who I am. You're gonna hate who I am? You know? And going back to what I said with the Caucasians, like, you have it in one movie, like you have a, it's funny, you have a color person saying that, nope, not going to do it, and then some people be like, what the fuck, and then you have a Caucasian that'll be like, yeah, I'm going to go over there, and literally all people that are color, so-called color, would be like, no, we would have been like, no, we're out of here, bye. Have you seen those memes of like, hey, what is it, hey, whole family goes to a haunted house, moves into a haunted house, and it's like, there was 20 bodies dead here. Let's move in here. Even some Caucasian people will be like, no. Have you watched the movie, what is it? Cabin in the Woods? That Shaggy character? Every time the Jock character said something, the fucking, the weed character, the Shaggy character, literally, he's all like, what? Well, nah, because he was smoking weed, man. He was smoking that up. You know what the fuck was up? I'm telling you, man. When you smoke that little up, you know what's up. Alright? Seriously. Alright? So, I do like the ending, like I pointed out earlier, where, what is it? I gotta look at her name. Kiki's character that she played in, sorry, guys. Hold on, something came up over here for some reason. Okay. Sorry about that. Her name was Emerald. Sorry about that. I was looking at something and something caught my eye. But, yeah, Emerald, she got the spotlight at the end of this movie. She did. And that's fine. That's really cool. And she's smiling and shit. And you see her brother riding, literally on top of that, black horse, you know, almost like a Wild Wild West film and shit like that. I think they even play a Wild Wild West song, and then that's it. That's the movie. I went everywhere in this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoy this movie very much. Like I said, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Sorry, I apologize for that, but I did like it, and you should watch this movie. You should. Even if you don't like this movie, just remember, movies are experiences at the end of the day. They are. They are experiences. People tend to forget about that. Movies are experiences. They are. They are experiences. And sometimes movies just do shit just to see what a movie can do. For example, look at Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Some people watch that movie and they're like, oh, it's just people getting high. And I'm like, look at the art style. Look at the atmosphere. Look what they're doing in this movie. Take the people taking drugs aspect and throw it out the window and just look at it as a colorful picture. That's what it is. It's just colorful pictures. It's good. Very good. Right? Seriously. People forget that movies is art. People forget movies are supposed to be like that, man. No one didn't complain about it back in the fucking goddamn medieval times of movies. Seriously, when movies were silent, I guarantee you, if we made a silent film today, people would talk shit about it. I wonder why. Yeah, I bet people would talk shit about just having a black and white movie. Or why is this movie black and white? Because it's coming off as an old narrative, guys. And back then, movies used to be black and white anyways. Don't be pissy. Be grateful for what you have. Seriously. What if one day color just ended? For example, I know that's probably hard for you to believe, but it could happen. It could happen. Now, I'm not saying it won't happen or anything like that, but you never know. It's like saying that technology will be no more. That scares some people. Some people will say, oh, that's good. But I'm talking about the power and all of that shit. That scares some people. Alright? Seriously. For crying out loud, people get scared when the ATB fucking doesn't work. Or the credit card doesn't work. So imagine that shit. Seriously. But, I have to check something because, obviously, family issues, to be quite honest. Nothing really major or anything like that. Well, I guess it kind of is major. But that's it, guys. That's it. I'm going to get out of here. If you haven't watched this movie, you should. And that's the best part about this movie. Just experience this movie. Just experience this movie. Literally. Like, this is, again, going back, there's a lot of movies out here that people hate, and then I watch it, I'm like, this movie is an experience movie, and you guys are shitting on it. This is why we don't have movies like this, because you guys want to shit on it. You want everything to be spoon-fed to you.